Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Do you swear or positively affirm that the testimony you'll give to the court today, in this case, to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. If you would, state your name and spell your last name for our court reporter, please.
All right, my name is Ryan Brock. My last name is B-R-O-C-K.
Thank you, sir.
Ryan, where do you live?
I live in Austin, Texas.
And what do you do down there?
I recently graduated from UT, and I'm currently looking to start a career.
Do you have a job right now?
Yes, I do.
What do you do right now?
Right now, I'm working as a cashier for Central Market.
Okay, and how are you related to Jesse?
We're brothers.
Okay, y'all have the same mother, right?
Correct.
And was there a time when you lived in the same home with Jesse?
Yes, growing up, I spent 1 week there and then 1 week with my father, back and forth.
Okay, and where did your father live?
He lives in Anderson, South Carolina.
Okay, and when you say 1 week there, that was 1 week at your parent, Jeff and Tiffany Osborne's home in Townville.
Correct.
Did y'all live anywhere before that house?
My mother and I did for a brief period after her and my father were divorced, but I pretty much just remember living in that house.
Okay. Do you remember when Jesse was born?
Yes.
How much older are you than Jesse?
I'm 7 years ago, 7-ish.
Okay, how old are you now?
I am 22, about to be 23.
Okay, and he's 17, so 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and you love your brother, don't you?
Yes, I do.
But you understand today you have to tell the truth. You can't try to say something or embellish something to try to help your brother. That won't do anything but hurt the situation. You understand that, correct?
Of course.
And you've also promised the court and the clerk of court that you'd tell the truth, and you understand that obligation, correct?
Yes, I do.
And you understand that even though you're in Texas and we're in Anderson, South Carolina, the penalty of perjury would be available to the state of South Carolina because of this testimony, because it's a public forum, a court of the state.
Yes.
Okay. Why'd you pick Texas to go to school?
Well, I had actually applied to a couple of out-of-state universities, and out of the ones that I got accepted to, Texas was the highest on the list of my choices.
Was there any particular reason you chose to go out of state?
Yes.
And what was that?
I did not feel as if staying in South Carolina would have been necessarily helpful for just pursuing my dreams in life, and I was not in a very well-off situation there.
And you're talking about your home?
Yes.
Okay. Who else lived in the house with y'all during any of the period of time when you were growing up with Jesse?
So it was mainly me, Jesse, my mother, and Jeff. And then my stepsister lived with us for a brief period of time as well.
Okay, and what's her name?
Mary Lee.
Okay. What was your relationship like with Jeff?
With Jeff.
Yes.
It was strange. We got along fairly well, but there were periods in time when we did not get along so well.
And what would happen during those periods of time?
So it was mainly, especially when there was things like alcohol involved. He had a bit of a temper and would get somewhat verbally abusive and physically on some accounts.
And you talked about alcohol. Describe Jeff's relationship with alcohol.
Well, I honestly don't remember a single day where he did not drink. And it was multiple drinks throughout the day, every day.
And how did he act when he drank alcohol?
He was very out of it and very impulsive, had a very short temper, and yeah, things would sometimes spiral a little bit out of control.
Describe situations when you believed him to be out of control.
Well, for me in particular, there were two very big incidents, but also on the daily, there is also physical abuse towards Jesse mainly.
Okay, well, talk about Jeff's relationship with Jesse a little bit, if you would.
Sure, so they were it seemed like they were constantly at each other's throats, honestly. Pretty much every day, Jeff would find something that Jesse did wrong or that he didn't like about Jesse, or that he just seemed to be infuriated by, and would use that as an excuse to take Jesse into the back room and physically abuse him.
When you say physically abuse him, what would he do?
I know on certain incidents he would force Jesse to pull his pants down, remove his pants, would get sticks, belts, whatever he could find within his grasp, and just start wailing on Jesse. And I could hear the screams all the way throughout the house.
And how often did this happen?
Especially in the few years before I left, it had gotten to the point where it was pretty much almost daily.
And did you ever do anything about this? Did you ever take any steps concerning this situation with Jesse?
So after I had moved to Texas, I was in therapy for a bit, and I had told my therapist about what happened and everything, and we had worked together, and I had finally, through that process, decided to call DSS, or the Child Protective Services.
Did you do that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if that caused anything to happen in Townville?
From my understanding, the Child Protective Services came out there and sat the family down together, and no action was taken.
Do you know whether Jeff or your mother reacted to that visit by Child Services at all?
From all I know is that they had assumed that one of the grandparents had made the call. They never suspected that I was it.
Do you remember an incident when Jeff accused your mom of being unfaithful?
I vaguely remember that incident. It was mainly, from what I knew of it, I was pretty much at my father's house whenever it all happened, but just from my experience of talking to everybody, it seemed as if Jeff had gotten very angry with her, and she had some concerns about Jesse and what to do with Jesse at that time.
Okay, and was Mary Lee doing the same thing as you, 1 week on, 1 week off?
She mainly spent every other weekend with Jeff. So it wasn't week to week, it was every other weekend.
Did that ever stop happening?
Yes.
Do you know why that stopped happening?
Yes, there was one event in particular where Jeff had gotten very abusive and she decided to stop coming.
Okay. You mentioned that there were two big incidents between you and Jeff. Would you describe those for me?
Sure. So one of them is the incident that I just mentioned with Mary Lee, in which there was an incident between me and Jesse. We were playing around or something, and Jesse had kind of decently long fingernails at the time and had started scratching my arms and digging his fingernails into my arm.
Ryan, hang on one second.
Yeah.
We were playing around or something, and Jesse had kind of...
Okay, you have to start back. You were playing around or something, and Jesse had kind of... Can you begin again right there?
Yeah, so we were playing around. Jesse kind of had long fingernails, and I don't even know if he intentionally did it or if it was just accidentally because we were playing around kind of rough. And his fingernails had left marks on my arm. And so in order to get him to stop, I grabbed his arms, and I grabbed a little tight, and so his arms were a little bit red where I grabbed on his wrist. And so he went and cried to Jeff. And Jeff came to the room that I was in, and he grabbed onto my wrist extremely tight and got on top of me and held me down on the bed and was in my face and just screaming very violently at me that he was going to hurt me way worse than I would have ever hurt Jesse, things like that. And I was screaming for somebody to help, screamed to have somebody call 911. And that's when Mary Lee came back to try to stop him. And he got up and he pushed her into the TV stand and she left.
Is that the last time that Mary Lee was at the house?
That was the last time that she had come over there, to my knowledge.
Okay, and what was the other incident?
The other incident was before that incident, in which Mary Lee was not there at the time. It was just me, my mother, Jesse, and Jeff. And I was younger at the time, and Jesse and I had been playing outside. There was like the sandbox area, and Jesse had these little toy tractors. And I had played a little bit rough and accidentally broke one of the little tiny windows on it. And Jesse started crying, and Jeff came out there and saw it. And he came back inside, and I remember it because it was something that I'd gotten from my grandmother, who had passed away. And it was something that I just had from her and loved. And Jeff had come back there and smashed it to pieces in front of me and started yelling at me and berating me. And I felt like he might have gotten physical if I had said anything back, so I just sat there.
Okay. Did you ever see your father hit your mother? Your stepfather hit your mother?
No, I did not.
Did your stepfather ever withhold food from Jesse?
Yes.
Describe how that would happen.
So anytime that Jesse would say he wasn't like, or anytime it's close to dinner when dinner was about to be served, if Jesse had done something to annoy Jeff would threaten him with taking food away, telling him he's not going to eat until tomorrow. If Jesse even had the slightest hint of an attitude, that was one of the ways that Jeff used to kind of get control over Jesse, was threatening with him with taking away food.
And you said you lived with your father in Anderson part of this time. Did you ever tell him about it, this situation?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I was, especially when I lived there, I was under 18 for most of the time, and I was just mainly afraid of what would happen if I did.
How did you address this situation? What did you do?
I mean, when the abuse was happening, I would mainly hide in my room and just kind of distract myself with music, video games, just kind of try to ignore the screaming. And as soon as I turned 18, I
did you live in the house?
I lived down in the basement.
And where did Jesse live in the house?
In the basement as well.
Okay. What would Jesse do after he had gotten these whippings?
So sometimes he would go to his room and play video games and kind of do what I did. And then other times he would come to me and try to play with me and talk to me, things like that.
And when did you leave for school? August of 2015?
Correct.
Okay, and that would have been the year Jesse began the 6th grade?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Did you come home for the summer of 2016?
For the summer of 2016, I believe I didn't. I can't remember if I came home that summer.
Okay, did there come a time when your mother and Jesse went to see you in Austin?
Yes, there was.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And how did Jesse seem at that time?
He seemed alright for the most part. He had, I believe, just gotten out of some other stuff, and my mother had brought him along and tried to get him out of the house. And for the most part, he seemed fine, but at one point, there's just one part that stuck with me to this day, and it's that while we were just moving stuff into my apartment and had a moment to just sit down and talk, he told me and asked me if he could come live with me. And at the time I thought that was just him missing his brother, but honestly now, looking back on it, I think it was a legitimate question.
You think he wanted to get out of his living situation?
Yes, I do.
And do you recall the day you heard about the shooting in Townville at your house and at the school?
Yes, so I was in class at the time, and I had gotten a text from Mary Lee saying there was an incident at Townville, and if Jesse still attended Townville Elementary, and I said no, so I thought it was just nothing to worry about, but I was looking through the news at it just because I was curious as to what was happening back home, and noticed that there was somebody who had died at our address. And honestly, my gut reaction was that Jeff had snapped and murdered Jesse or something. Yeah, that's when I just started panicking and trying to get in touch with school back home.
And when you think about your going off to college and what happened at your home after you left, what do you think about that? What goes through your mind?
I mean, for the longest time, it ate at me that, I mean, definitely looking back on it now, I could tell Jesse relied on me a lot to kind of look out for him and make sure he was okay. And I think pretty much after I left, I was his main support, and that was gone for him. And I regretted that for a long time.
And you've confronted that issue and dealt with it yourself?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Ryan, thank you for talking about these things. The prosecutor is going to ask you some questions now. Continue to answer.
Ryan, my name is Catherine Huey, and I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay?
Okay.
Ryan, you said you started school in Austin, Texas. What year again was that?
In 2015.
Okay. And then when Jesse came to visit you in August, the following summer then, in August of 2016, correct? Do you remember that?
Correct. Yes, I do.
Now, were you aware prior to that he had been kicked out of school for taking the hatchet to school?
Yes, I was.
And were you aware at that time that he had made threats toward about killing his classmates?
No, I was not.
You had not been made aware of that?
No, I was not.
When he came to visit you in Austin in August of 2016. If you were here, I would show you an exhibit. It states 44A and B. Are you aware that Jesse took a selfie of himself carrying a boarding pass to Austin in his lap? Are you aware of that photo?
No, I am not.
Okay. Are you aware of the photo he took of the bell tower that he passed out the window? Are you aware of
No,
that
I am
photo?
not.
Okay. Are you aware of the Texas Tower shooting of 1966?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So then you're aware that that's where Charles Whitman killed 14 people from that bell tower, is that correct?
Correct.
After having killed his own mother. Correct?
Yes, correct.
And that was the 50th anniversary when he came to visit you in Texas, is that correct?
Yes, it was.
Now, you talked about Jeff drinking a lot, but the day that Jesse murdered your stepfather, are you aware that he didn't have anything in his system? His toxicology was negative.
No, I am not.
You're not aware of that?
Well, not until this moment.
Did you talk to your mother about reporting Jeff for all of this abuse?
I did not tell her until after the incident.
After what?
After the incident with Jesse and the shooting.
That's when you told her?
Yes, but a few months after, I believe.
And were you present for the waiver hearing at all in February of 2018?
No, I wasn't.
That week-long proceeding, you were not here for that, correct?
I was not.
Okay. So you did not see the school surveillance video of Jesse shooting at all the children at Townville Elementary?
No, I did not.
And you did not see his confession where he admitted to doing so and wanting to kill even more than that, 20 or 30 if he could?
I did not see that.
And are you aware that he still gets excited when he thinks about perpetrating that school shooting?
No, I
That's all I have, Judge.
Ryan, where's that tower located?
It's in the center of the UT campus.
It's about in the middle of it, isn't it?
Well, it's more towards the front.
Towards the front, but it's a landmark that's been a part of the University of Texas for about the entire history of the University of Texas, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And people take pictures of that for happy reasons as well as to commemorate that sad event. Is that
Of
correct?
course.
Thank you, Ryan. I think that's everything, Your Honor. Ryan, thank you very much for doing this. Take care.